This little girl right here is a Kimball record player. Kimball was a company out of Chicago that made pianos. And that's about as much as I really know about Kimball. Everybody kind of got into the record player game, kind of like now. Everybody's in the record player game. Everybody's in the CD turntable game. Everybody wants a piece, so they dive in and they try to copy, the best. And in the day, the best was the Edison. That was the Technics 1200. But this is the Kimball that belongs to me. Let me show you some really cute things about this machine. Now what you're looking at right there is probably about a 90-year-old scratch pad. And of course here's a record. Here's a Victor record we'll put on here. Now this is all brass. Okay, this is really, really nice. It needs to be polished, but it's all there. And here's the actual, I guess what would be the old style cartridge there. I don't know if you can see that. It says, here, I'll try to get closer. W. Kimball Company. And this is like a plastic over it. You can see this is a real intricate type needle situation here. And it's the same thing. There's like a nail for the needle on this. Now this particular crank up's got some interesting features. It has an automatic stop, which is kind of funny. You can actually adjust this little bar back here to stop where you want it to stop. And then of course this is your pitch control. How do you think they did volume control back then? Let me show you. You're going to love this. This is the volume control knob. Grab a hold of it and turn it up or down. In essence, let me show you what it does. As you see here, I've taken the grill off the front. And this is the, well, kind of like the speaker. This is where the sound comes out. It gets amplified through a loudspeaker situation. Not a conventional loudspeaker, but more like rolling up a piece of paper and yelling through it. But let me show you. This is where all the volume control happens. I'm going to adjust the volume. That's quiet. And that's loud. This is I Wonder What Happened, What Became of Sally. It may be a bit hard to see with glare, but there's a little girl standing in front of this very machine. Because it's kind of like their little logo that Kimball Phonograph had. Trying to put a shade on here. And right below the little girl, you can't see it on this video, but it says, "I want to see the lady come out." Meaning that the little girl couldn't figure out, why the lady wouldn't come out of this box. She was singing in there. Kind of like the RCA Victor dog, I suppose, which we have on this record right here, the RCA Victor dog. Looking into the phonograph, trying to figure out what's going on. Also, if you look down here, there are several different patent dates for this particular machine. And the last patent date on here is the 7th, or I'm sorry, it would be July of 1919. So how old is this machine? It was made sometime after 1919. This is the Edison machine right here. Here's what it looks like on the inside. A little different from the Kimball. Now the Edison takes special records. As you can see, these records are very thick. This machine does not belong to me. This machine belongs to Mikey. Mikey's a good friend of mine. His whole family are good friends of mine. You might have saw his brother Brian working on the Playhouse in one video. Mikey needed a place for safekeeping for this machine. The deal is, the Kimball and this one came from the same place. They came from Mikey's grandparents' farm when the landlord sold the farm to a housing developer and they tore it down. These belonged to Grandpa. Grandpa passed away. Grandma knew we always liked them. So she gave each one of us a machine. I got the Kimball, Mikey got the Edison. I would have picked the Edison myself, but that was his grandparents. I gave him first pick. I wasn't going to fight him over it. Now here's some cool things about this machine. I showed you the extra thick record. The style eye on here is different. It's a floating style eye. And it actually works with this arm here. I can manipulate this, lower it, and raise it with this knob here. It's a lot more advanced than the Kimball. Now, the newest patent date I can find on this thing is 1913, and that would be right over here. And then down here, there's a little bitty coin, kind of a thing here. Can't see it very well, but it says, the Model 250, which is this, diamond disc phonograph is the official laboratory model, or laboration model, or something like that. Thomas Edison. And it's the same principle. If you look down here, there's a grill just like on the other one. You open up the grill, and there's another horn in here. And the volume control is actually a ball that kind of comes in and out of the horn. And that's activated by a knob on the side, just like on the Kimball. Let's crank it up and give it a listen. And there you go. For a Big Melan, some of the old crank-up machines that are currently in my possession. Two of them are mine. One of them's Mikey's. Hope to get that back to Mikey soon. As soon as he gets his new place all sorted out. I just like old stuff. And one day I'd like to have a library in my home with everything from books to records to CDs to DVDs, with listening stations for things, and maybe a crank-up or two sitting in the corner, just kind of a reminder of how things used to be. I love old stuff. So there you have it. Practice and enjoy.